Hey everyone, it's been a little bit since I put something up on the channel, so I figured I'd shoot a video today. Don't have a whole lot going on, but you can see we're working on the shrine big rig. We got it actually flipped over. This is the bottom of it right now. So we've been really busy doing a lot of other things besides working on the Jeep motor or the shrine cart, although we did work on this Tuesday. So there's a little trailer I have in the backyard that's pretty old. It's a 4x8 Harbor Freight trailer, and it was getting a little bit, in disrepair. It's been sitting for a while. It's outside in the weather, but it's got the little bitty tires on. It's got the 13-inch tires with the four lugs. They're old, so I had a different trailer that somebody had given me, and what I wanted to do was take the axle off of the larger trailer and put it under the small trailer. Not necessarily because I needed a bigger axle, but it had the 5 lug car trailer tire size, like my flatbed trailer and my other trailers. So I wanted to swap the axles around so that my small trailer had the same size tires as my flatbed. That way if I have a spare tire, if I need to, borrow one or whatever, they're all the same size. So we worked on that project. I didn't get any video of it because it was literally 10 minutes there, an hour here, whatever. So we ended up flipping the trailer upside down and cutting the axle off. And well, we didn't cut it, we unbolted it, and then took the larger axle, unbolted it off of the donor trailer, and we ended up taking a piece of bracket that goes on the Harbor Freight trailer, and we found that we welded the hangers, the spring hangers, on the very front and the very end of that bracket. It was a perfect length for the springs on the new axle. So we got that welded together, got it bolted on the trailer, and we had to weld or cut the spring perches off of the larger axle and move them inboard about 4 inches because the axle's wider than the small trailer. So I didn't want to make the small trailer wider yet, although that will be a project later. So I just put spring perches in a different spot, kind of tack welded it back together, and put the axle on it. So now the axle is on it, and it sits up a little higher because it's heavier springs, a little bit taller tire, but this axle sticks out about this far out each side, so I got to put larger fenders on it. It'll work for what I need. Just move the golf cart around. When I want to move this one back up to the shrine, I can put this on it because I don't want to use the big flatbed trailer for this little truck. So we got that project done the other day. Matt came over and helped me. We hooked it up to a rope up to his Jeep and used the Jeep to flip it over so we didn't have to lift the trailer. So it's sitting in the back right now, almost ready to go. I got to replace one of the tail lights on it and put the new license plate on it, and after that, should be good to go. So Tuesday, while Matt was here, we also flipped this frame upside down and welded in a new panel for the floorboard. So your feet will go here. This is kind of the blank space behind your feet. You can see we'll put a bead rolled section into it. Not really for any sort of design, just give it a little bit of strength, keep it from flexing and twisting. It's not quite as pretty as I'd wanted it to be because even though I got the large throat bead roller, this panel is so long, doing the middle section right here, it wouldn't go through the throat of it. The corners of it would clip. So what I really wanted to do was have a section here and a section here, and then the back be one large section. But I wasn't able to make this turn down the middle here because of that length over there. So I ended up just doing one raised panel here, one raised panel here. Of course, when it's in the cart and you're looking at it from the top down, it's actually a recessed panel. And there's a frame rail that goes right through here, down the middle. So we tack welded that. We drilled holes all the way around it and welded through into the frame rail. It seemed to work pretty well, except I gotta give Matt a hard time because these welds over here didn't hold. So we gotta grind those off and do those again. Not a big deal. Other than that, we've got to put a bumper on the rear end of it, and then it will be ready for powder coat. We've got all the welding is done except for fixing that little piece over there and the rear bumper, but everything else is done, ground, cleaned up. There shouldn't be any sharp edges left on it. Spent a lot of time with the little belt sander and grinder, flap wheel, cleaned everything off that we could. So in about a month, the powder coating is going to happen. Hopefully I'll get some video of that. My son's going to come up and do that. He does powder coating. He's going to bring his lamps, his spray guns, everything. We're going to clean the garage out. We're going to take the Jeep outside. We're going to take some of the stuff over there, cover it with plastic, and just have the cart right here in the middle. And powder coat it. It's going to be bright cherry red. Bright cherry red, and all the brackets and suspension arms, pieces like that, are all going to be gloss black. And there's a couple of pieces that are going to be aluminum or brushed silver. I'm not real sure how it's going to come out. So we got that done. Fix it welds, and we haven't done anything with the Jeep motor. It's still sitting. You can see just the very top of it over there on the other side of the seats. We haven't done anything with it yet. We have to take it to the machine shop. Had some weird things going on with work, so I think I've got all that settled down, so now I can get back onto some of these projects. You can see right over there in the corner, I got some tires. Got brand new tires for the flatbed trailer, so we moved the trailer around so it's a little bit easier to get to, so I take the tires off of that, take these and those up to the shop, have the guys swap them, get rid of the old tires, put the new tires on the rims, and then bring it back. That shouldn't be a big deal. I was going to do it today, but I got lazy and didn't do it. And the wife's car was acting funny. It was overheating, and we're not really sure why. We replaced the water pump and thermostat on it not too long ago. When it's sitting there idling, the fans come on, and we took it for a spin and drove it probably 20-30 minutes. It didn't get over 212, which is about running temperature for that car. It did everything it was supposed to be. I'm not really sure, but when the wife came home, it was running 253 degrees and whistling like a tea kettle. But once we cooled it down, put a little bit more water in the overflow, and it seemed to be okay. I think there's an air bubble in it somewhere, but I'm not sure. So we checked the relays, checked there's no water leaking around the water pump, thermostat, any of that sort of stuff. So we're going to just keep an eye on it. And we've driven it 4 or 5 times, 100, 150 miles at a time without issue. I don't know why I was doing it today. It's kind of weird. So, and I started the ambulance a few minutes ago. It fires right up. I haven't plugged it in since we went down to my son's house a month and a half ago. Yeah, it's been a little while. So we ran a test down there. We did not plug it in. We just drove it down there, parked it for the weekend, left it there, drove back, and I was going to plug it in when I got home, but I was like, let me see how long I can go without plugging it in. So I left it for about a week, and it still had plenty of power on the batteries. Started it right up, let it idle for a few minutes, turned it off, and let it sit for about another week. And when I went out there earlier, it still had 12.7 volts on the batteries. It fired right up. I let it run for a little bit and turned it back off. So I'm going to try to keep it unplugged for a while and see how long it goes. I've got some solar panels in the back I'm going to add to that system. I don't know when. I've got so many projects going on right now. We're taking the big camper. We have a 29-foot regular tow-behind camper. It's about 10 years old, so we're pulling all of the old caulking off of it around the vents and all the stuff that's on the top of the camper. We're pulling it all off and putting all new caulk down, because you can see a couple places where it's been kind of patched over the years, and extra caulking's been put down. So we're pulling all of that up, front, the back, everywhere there's caulk up there. We're pulling all of it out and putting new self-leveling caulk. I've got about half of it done. I got some more to do this weekend, but it keeps raining on Saturdays. So normally I plan to do it on Saturdays, and then it rains on me, so I end up doing it on Sunday. But I have to wait until the sun heats it up, because it makes it a whole lot easier to pull that apart once it's hot. So hopefully this weekend we'll get some good weather. We'll try to finish that up. But other than that, there's not a whole lot else going on. We're going to try to get some pictures of this. Next week we're going to probably start working on the fiberglass for it, put some new lights in it, polish it up, try to do a few repairs to it, and we'll talk to you guys later.